Yeah, do it. Come on. I dare you.
Why would you dare me? You don't need to dare me.
It's a yes day. You have to do it. Do it. Hi!
Hey, you're gonna clip. اوکی پیام گرخید
That works, thank you.
He just woke up.
That was your coffee for the day. Ready?
Yeah.
Hi guys, Star here.
Hey, what's going on, lovely people? This is Bliss.
And Star.
As she said, my beautiful partner, and we are back here today with another episode of Master Dreamer, where we are sharing our life journey on how we are learning and redefining ourselves and rebuilding ourselves and, you know, coming up with a new persona through two different methods that are very distinct, but, tend to deliver the same results, which is to build a new version of ourselves.
A new identity.
That's right. As we are awakening to the fact that whatever we used to believe was really instilled in us since we were kids, with culture, society, words, everything, agreements, all the things that we didn't necessarily sign into, but shape who we are as people, literally shaping our lives, our decisions. And when you come to that conclusion, the next logical step is, how do we build what we want instead of what we, I guess, were raised to be, right? Or what we were conditioned to be.
Yeah.
We wanted to do this, as we said, since episode 1, for our future selves, so we could always have like a reference point and come back and see how it all happened, and go through our milestones as a journal or a video journey. We really hope that it helps other people too. So if it helps one person, with kind of, if it resonates with you and you figure out, oh wow, like that's something that I could kind of see myself doing, or that's what I need to do, to us that's perfect, that's enough, that's all we need. And let's just jump into it, baby. Since our last episode, Star actually signed up for Tony Robbins.
I signed up for Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within UPW virtual.
Welcome to UPW! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen!
Which has been going on for years and is a staple of Tony Robbins, I guess, teaching and self-development, self-empowerment.
I actually listened to the first UPW Unleash the Power Within CDs when I was 18.
Was it the first one, or it was one of them?
No, it was one of them. It was one of them. I listened to one of his CDs.
2008?
2018. No, yeah, 2008.
8, babe.
Yeah,
2018 is a few years.
Yeah, like in 2008. So, yeah.
You still have that CD?
I still have it. Yeah.
Okay, is it any different now than it was?
To be honest, I don't remember because I
much.
was a lot younger and I hadn't gone through my awakening, so I don't remember much from that. But
everything in life is different when you're when you go through awakening, right? Like how even the same thing, right? We are realizing, like, if we read a book or like movie, remember? Okay, so we watched Matrix before. Everybody watched Matrix or Inception, right? Like these movies, when you watch them from an awakened person perspective, the movies just have a completely different narrative, completely different message, completely different delivery.
Yeah, like even like the other day I was watching a cartoon and it looks different.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Literally, everything starts being different. So yeah, she's going through UPW, which, I'm going to ask her to share with us how the experience went, how she felt about it, how it's helping her to be a better version of herself. That's something that if you ever wanted to know what a UPW is like.
You definitely got to go.
Yeah, like that's, I guess, in short.
It's worth every penny.
That's in short her experience.
Tony's amazing. Yes.
Okay,
he's this
so
like big, powerful beast that like
he's a powerhouse.
awakens you.
Yeah. He's a powerhouse. Literally shakes you to the core. And it's like an earthquake in your soul. It's like
He's so full of energy, full of motivation, positivity.
He's literally full of energy. That's so true. And he's mastered the art of delivering the message the perfect way so it actually hits the right spot, right? Like everything he tells you is being worked on for decades, and everything he says is being tried through different and hundreds of different deliveries and presentations.
I think he's helped over 50 million people. So
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
So after those numbers, you actually start pulling a different weight on your back, and the delivery becomes different, which is awesome. And then on my end, I enrolled in a different program, which is the Lifebook program of Mindvalley. So I'm going to talk to you about that as well. But first, I want to get Star to tell us how the experience was. So in the past, obviously before COVID happened, Tony always used to do this UPW
all around the world.
And in person as a big, extravagant, like feast, not feast, like fiesta or whatever, like big event, big affair, big production, and people would get together. The energy is so awesome. If you see any of his videos,
it's usually full 4 days of full immersion.
Yes.
So it starts anywhere from 8-9 in the morning, and it usually goes to like 10, 11, 12 a.m.
Right. That's right. And this one was no different, but the only thing is it was done online. So
and it was amazing.
Yeah, and I was wondering but it was also a lot cheaper too, right? Because in person it's like you were saying, it's a lot more expensive, right?
I think so.
Whereas online the price was literally a fraction.
Well, they had different prices for different entry levels. The cheapest one was about like $600, and
US?
Canadian.
Okay.
Like US, I think it was like
$450
for something.
Yeah.
And then I think the next level one was $800 US, and then I think the last one was $1,700 US. I'm not too sure, but around those ranges.
And what would you get in different packages, babe? So what is the difference between an entry level?
The entry level, you would get the full immersion, like the full 4 days, and then you would get your package, which included like your preparation box and like everything that you would need for the actual
welcome
event.
Package,
Your notebook, your breakthrough package. What else? Yeah, basically like the basic stuff.
So the basics,
right?
that you need to just get into the program. And what is the next level up?
I think the next level up, I didn't get the next level up, obviously, because I just didn't have the money right now. But yeah, the next level up, I think they had like one extra day. It was like a preparation day before the actual event started. And I think that they would, because he had guest speakers. I think whoever participated in the next level, like the second level, they could have had lunch with, like a virtual lunch with the speakers, so they could have had a conversation or asked any questions that they had. And then I think the last level up, it contained all of that, and also that people will get an actual UPW ticket for when everything goes back to normal, so they can attend an actual in-person event also. I think I might be missing one or two things, but
so we'll put it on the screen in terms of what they included. I guess hopefully we could find that information right now after the fact. So tell me, how was the experience? How did it go? How did you hear about it? Because I know you first did an online thing, right?
Yeah.
There was a free thing.
I think it was a 3-day or a 4-day online. I don't know if I say class or whatever it was. I think it was like 2-3 hours a day. It was for 4 days.
Yeah.
And he called it New World, New You.
Okay.
I think it was a New World, New You challenge.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it was pretty good. It was pretty exciting. It was basically like little bits of the UPW in there, but not the full immersion and not the activities. Like when you actually participate in the event and you actually participate in the activities that you have to do, like the breakthroughs, it makes a big difference than versus just someone coming telling you, oh, do this and do that, and then you go and you do it on your own.
So after the 2-3 initial days, then what happened? You signed up for the UPW course.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the course? How do you feel like it went? How was the flow of it? How was the energy? How were the other speakers? Tell me a little bit about your experience.
It was really good. He had like really, really good speakers that would come in between, because he has to rest his voice every other day because he's been talking for a long time.
And he yells a lot. Like he goes very high pitch. Yeah.
So he can't like come and speak every day.
Sure.
So he has different guest speakers that come every other day.
So does he talk every day and then have people come and help him, or some days he just didn't talk at all?
Well, the thing is, because he's done the events so many times, he has videos of his own, like of himself.
I see.
So some day, like the first day was all him. The second day was, I think, 3 of his guest speakers or 2 of his guest speakers, but they would insert videos of Tony from his previous events. Mm-hmm. And then the third day was again him. And then maybe, I think, 1 speaker. And then the last day, there were different speakers again, but then they would also insert different videos of him from his past events again. And then at the end of the night, when he wanted to congratulate everyone, it was just him. Okay. His wife was also there.
And for the reference, this was all done online on Zoom, still with a very nice production, to be honest.
Yeah, it was really good.
As an observer from the outside, I still appreciated the performance, the energy, and how he was organizing and putting everything together.
Yeah, he went all out.
Yeah, and what's important is that it was pretty lengthy still. Like it was like a 10-12 hour days you had.
Yeah, like sometimes I had to like take my laptop with me to the bathroom just so I can, use the bathroom.
Yeah, because you guys got only like 2 15-minute breaks?
Well, the first day we barely got any breaks. Because when he talks, he talks.
He just goes.
Yeah.
How does he do that? Like,
because he loves it. He's so passionate about it. When you're passionate about something, you want to just pour it out there.
Wow.
So you feel it,
Yeah, literally. The hours that he was talking, especially with his energy that is pouring out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the good thing was every morning that we would start, he had, I forgot his name, but his company name is called Egoscu. This guy would come and he would tell us about how we can change our bodies and how we can stand better or sit better and move our bums better so we can, we can sit longer. Yeah, definitely check him out. He's really good too. He would come every morning. He would give us little hints here and there. And then also
Was he also an insert video or was he
No, he was
live?
in person.
Okay, live on location.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys had Pitbull there to show up. And
yeah, Pitbull was there the day before. No. The day before everything started.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the day that you guys weren't there.
So the event started on Thursday. Pitbull's concert was on Wednesday night.
Oh, for the higher tier people.
No, it was for everyone.
Oh.
Yeah. I was just at work.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, because I didn't know there's going to be a concert, so I only took like Thursday off. Okay. And then I heard there's going to be a concert, but I was already working, so I couldn't do it.
You already had it scheduled.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, so tell me about content. What did you learn?
Let me finish. And then after I forgot his name. Anyways, after Egoscu, they had this group of people. They were called Kinergy. I think it's called Kinetic Energy.
Yeah.
Something like that, but it's called Kinergy. And they would come and they would shake everything up and they would get you to jump up and down and dance and move around to get you going. And they would come throughout the day too, so it doesn't get boring and, get your energy level up. Because when you're tired, you don't understand much. You're not going to take in as much. But when your energy level is at peak state, you understand better. You take in more.
That's right.
You're more involved. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. And what about, I guess, tell me about the experience of the course. Like, how did the course
Well, Tony tried to cover a little bit of everything. Like how to be better at your life, health-wise, spiritual-wise, business-wise. So he tried to cover a little bit of every area because they had different guest speakers that would come and they would talk about all these things. And also like a little bit about your love areas too. So like relationship areas. There were so many things that we covered. I don't know what you want me to say.
So how did he guide you guys towards becoming better people, better versions of yourselves? What was the formula? What was like, not the formula, but what was like the strategy? What was the game plan?
But there was so many strategies, right? Like one of the strategies was you had to come to terms and find out what your limiting beliefs are and write them down, and like actually write them down, and you know, don't be shy about it. And once you start writing your limiting beliefs, like you will think you have none, and then once you're in momentum, there's one, and then there's two, and then there's a whole page. What are you doing?
I'm so hot. You're killing me.
Oh my god.
I needed to wash my face.
Wow.
Oh. Okay, sorry, go.
I'm like, what is happening right now? Oh,
You
wow.
don't let us open a window
Okay,
here.
okay, Pam, can open a window.
No, it's okay. I already washed my face. I'm okay. So go on.
You sure you want to shower? Yeah, do it. Come on. I dare you.
Why would you dare me? You
It's
don't
a-
need to dare me.
It's a
enough.
yes day. You have to do it. Do it. Oh. Your speakers are gonna get fucked.
Oh shit!
Have your headphones. Oh my god.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're all good. Oh shit! It's like a little like how
a
like
dog.
dogs just go like that. Okay. All right. Oh, that felt good.
Oh, you
Now I'm
look
all-
good. Wet t-shirt
Wet
contest.
t-shirt. Wet t-shirt contest.
I can't even talk today.
Oh man. Okay, so
Yeah, so you have to find out your limiting beliefs. I guess he doesn't have any limiting beliefs, as you just saw. Nothing holds him back.
nothing. Yes.
Yeah, and then we had a piece of board that we had to break the first night, which was kind of like you would write down your 2 or 3 limiting beliefs and also what you want to become at the back of it, and like who you are or you want to be. And then the next day we would go in more depths about it, you know? And like actually like we had like exercises that you would
Kinda like
think
dive
of
in,
yourself.
yeah.
Like where you would see yourself in 5 years or like 1 year if
That I
you don't
really
make
like. Can
any
you, like-
changes.
yeah, tell me about that because that was really something.
So it's
interesting.
actually called the Dickens Process.
Okay.
He just implements it in his exercises.
Sure.
It's called the Dickens Process if anybody wants to look it up.
It's very interesting. Everybody should look it up, to be honest.
Yeah. So basically, it's like you have to envision yourself the way you are right now with your beliefs or limiting beliefs or
Yeah. So that's a
everything.
prerequisite to it. You have to first recognize your limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
and then based on that,
And like the person you are, you
Yeah.
know, like your eating habits, your exercise habits, your work habits, your work strategies, whatever that goes on in your love habits, relationship habits, whatever that you guys have. You have to recognize those first and then think of yourself in the next 1 year or 5 years without changing anything. So if you're not having a healthy diet and you already feel like you're overweight or you need to lose a few pounds, imagine yourself in a year or 5 years, still committing to the same lifestyle, eating habits. What
not
else?
changing anything
Not
around.
changing anything.
But you were saying get right into it. Like, see, okay, if
you have
I'm
to really envision
X
it.
amount of pounds right now,
Yeah.
then what am I going to be in 5
Yeah,
years?
you gotta like see yourself. You
shirts
gotta
are
see
gonna
like
be bigger.
how you're gonna look, if you're gonna gain any sizes, if you're not having good habits, if you're smoking, if you're doing bad things to yourself, if your face is
Bad
gonna be more
relationship
wrinkly,
partners, whatever.
if you're gonna get more like if you're gonna age faster, if your relationship is gonna be
Yeah.
worse or the same, or if your partner is gonna be there, or your parents or whoever that is in your life, in your relationships that are still gonna be there because of your personalities and your attitudes towards them, or your business or your work relationships. You might have gotten fired. You might have just stayed the same level with same amount of money. Like, are you okay with that? And then your expenses have gone higher. Like your life situation, whatever that is, you have to really, really, really envision yourself in the next 1 year or 5 years and see how you think about that and how you like it and, you know, the feelings you get from that. But you got to go really in depth, you know? And then you would envision yourself in the next 10 years, you know?
Doing the same thing and not changing anything.
And not changing anything.
And
then,
understand that the problems that you're experiencing today are only going to get so much more exacerbated.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you're not making any
changes
to them, any, I guess, unsatisfaction that you have today is only going to be tenfold, if not more, because we do talk, it's not even 10x, because remember, he also talks about the 2 degree, right? So if you are not on the right path today, in 10 years, you're not going to be at 2 degrees of separation.
It's going to be about 300, 180, whatever the change is going to be.
And just so we are different, let's quickly touch on that too, because this is a huge principle that it says whether if you implement a positive change of 1 degree even, or a negative thing that is holding you back, like a limitation, if your path of purpose or your vision or your intention is to go straight in any direction, let's just assume that. If you deviate by 1 degree today,
which is like almost nothing,
you're just like,
but
all
over
right.
time it's gonna lead to like 180, 300 degrees.
Hold on, don't go so drastic yet, but let's just explain it. Because if you just go 1 degree, which is probably about like this much, as these lines continue going, this line keeps getting bigger and bigger, the difference gets bigger, and then eventually at one point you're so far from where you want it to be that it feels impossible that you're even going to get back to it. So the 2 degree, and that's one of the reasons that 10 year especially projection into your own future, I believe, is so vital, because it gives you that opportunity to kind of go in your own mind and feel like, okay, if I'm not fixing my eating habits, if I'm not fixing my relationship with my partner, if I'm not making an effort to go do something that I need to do, we are saying 1 degree of a change. But if you are 10 degrees apart, then now you're going to be a completely different, devastatingly so much more miserable person 10 years down the road, which is the entire point of this program. So and then also, guys, by the way, on the flip side, remember that too, 1 degree of improvement will give you a huge improvement after a longer time, which is, by the way, the premise of the book called The Compound Effect, which is an absolutely amazing book if anybody wants to read it, which is every day just improve yourself by half an hour, and over 13 months, you're going to be a brand new person with such a payoff from the universe by just dedicating half an hour of improvement over the quality of your life in a particular department as you try to better yourself. But sorry, baby, you were saying that the Dickens process. Yeah, the Dickens process. So eventually the point of that process is so he makes you aware of where you're headed if you don't change. Yeah, and then you
have to envision yourself in the next 10 years, and then you literally have to see yourself there and think that you can't come back to right now and you can't change anything. And literally feel it, see how bad you feel, you know? So, and then when you come back to the regular life, like to the present, and you see that you've already seen your next 10 years, then you can change yourself, you know? It's so much easier. Because the thing is, there's 2 ways of changing. You can either push yourself or you can pull yourself. Pulling yourself to change is so much easier because there's less effort versus pushing yourself. When you already know your future, and like if you're not happy with it, then it's so much, and the future that you want to have, it pulls you so much easier than if you want to push for something.
There's also another thing that I don't know if you said this or if this was in your program, but I'm pretty sure I don't know, we talked about this, which I really wanted to kind of put this out there too, which is the principle of, if something isn't good for you, you have to say no to it and pay for it at one point. Okay, whether it's not good for your health, whether it's not good for your purpose, whether it's not good for your goal, whether it's not good for your relationship, for work, career, business, anything. So if it's not good for you, you have to pay for it at one point.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You can choose to pay for it right away and say no to it at that moment. And it's going to be a little bit difficult. But if you choose to go ahead with it, in future where you have to pay for it, it has to be a lot bigger of energy, expense, effort that you have to fix it.
Yep.
Because of, again, that 2 degrees thing. So I think that's very big too. And it comes huge when it comes to diet, right? This thing comes big.
Yeah.
Like in diet, yes, sometimes you want to go out and that fries is really like winking at you.
Or the wings.
So the real question is, are you going to say yes to it and pay for a cardiovascular heart attack disease, 30 years down the road, and just putting it on the back of the grill? Or are you just going to do the right thing right now and say, no, thanks, I'll pass, and just go on to satisfy your hunger with a different substitute that is healthier, right? So we have to do this. Actually, you've been doing that, which is, by the way, another thing we got to discuss. Which is crazy, guys. By the way, this is something that really like blew my hat off. So as soon as she finished her program,
she was last Sunday night.
Yeah,
it's been a week.
Yeah, so she finished the program. She goes like, she literally comes
downstairs.
It was like, downstairs. This was like 11 p.m. And she goes like, I'm starting a cleanse. I'm like, oh, when? She's like, tomorrow. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm like, what kind of cleanse? She's like, I'm not eating any processed food.
It's not a cleanse.
What is it?
It's called a 10-day vital health challenge.
Okay.
And then if you like it for 10 days, you should do it for 30 days.
Oh, dang.
And then if you do it for 30 days,
but
it comes from me though. The Vital Health Challenge only for 30 days.
Okay.
But if you like it, you can continue for, forever. It can be a lifestyle.
No, it can't.
Yeah, it can be.
No, it can't.
Yeah, it can be. Okay, the thing is, you haven't seen it. So basically, there is 8 areas that's called 8 gifts, and then there's 4 poisons that you're supposed to either eliminate or reduce. And instead of me reducing it, I completely eliminated it. That's why he says, no, you can't. I don't like half-assing shit, so.
Yeah, you just like literally gotta like
if it's a poison, what's the point of reducing it? You gotta eliminate it.
I'm surprised because you knew a lot of these were poison before, but what changed that?
My awakening.
Mm-hmm. So
the fact that I really care, I love my body.
The delivery during your awakening, just kind of brought the message home, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. So tell me, I'll
tell you the 4 poisons.
Okay, tell us the 4 poisons.
The 4 poisons, it's
that
dairy.
You should avoid, okay.
Dairy is bad. Meat, all meats are bad.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
All of them. And I'll tell you why. I'm not saying like they're all bad, but I'll tell you why it's called a poison. So dairy, meats, processed food, and sugar.
I mean, I agree to all of them. It's just... Yeah, tell us why.
So everybody knows dairy is bad.
Tell us why.
Okay, so humans are the only animals on planet Earth that consume another animal's milk.
That's right.
And
beyond the point of
even if
infancy,
there are other animals that do consume other animals' milk, they only do it to a certain level when they're babies.
Yeah.
Yet we still consume milk products such as butter, cheese, everything else. Yogurt till God knows
mayonnaise,
when, till before you die,
The funny thing is the whole milk industry and dairy industry has been really shoving this myth upon us that
it's calcium.
Good for you, it's vitamin bullshit, and it's calcium for your bones.
They've actually done studies that the more consumption of milk you have or dairy products, the higher your chances of osteoporosis.
There are studies for everything, but here's the thing. There are studies that they provide to say that they're right. There are also studies that say it is absolutely unnecessary. One thing is for certain. If milk was supposed to be consumed by any kind of living organism for all their lives, female mammals would not stop lactating
After a certain age.
after a certain time. Mother Nature, which is what created all of us, stops the lactating process after a certain time.
Yeah.
And like she said, humans are the only ones that insist.
Milk is good for you.
And it's not the humans, you know that, right?
It's the companies. It's these milk factories and companies that they don't care about me and you. They just care about the money and
The
their
products.
pockets getting bigger and deeper.
They're like, well, we got all these cows, female cows. Let's just, oh man, have you seen how like they forcibly
so
like
think of it this way. Think of it
impregnate them?
like
Oh.
if you have it like when they have cows that are just milking cows, you think they get rest days or rest
No.
time? They're constantly eating and constantly producing and getting suction. Like milk is getting
and
suctions from their titties.
They have to artificially impregnate them.
Yeah.
They do it with these like big things that they stick in them from behind, and they just insert semen in them, and they're not even moving. They're just sitting within these cages. Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
So imagine how much stress that poor cow's going through. And also imagine like when a cow's breast, oh my God, that light really it blinded me. The light, I just
Don't
looked
look
at the
at
light. The cow's breasts, because they're getting pumped all the time, they get sore, right? And they start bleeding.
Yes.
So imagine all that. There's bacteria, and they give those cows
Infections, yeah.
like
Pus.
antibiotics because of those because there's going to be blood and pus around the cow's nipples. They don't want that to go into your milk, so they're giving that cow antibiotics, like so much antibiotics. And imagine like you're putting that into your body.
There was an amazing document.
alternatives,
There are
like-
so many documentaries on this, by the way. Remember, there was which one was the big Netflix documentary that we watched on this? Something called. Oh,
There's
yeah, we're gonna put it on the video.
What the Health.
What the Health? Yes, What the Health is right. What the Health is the name of the documentary. Good memory, babe. So yes, there are amazing alternatives to milk. Like I don't understand why we still.
There's almond milk,
can I
there's
say
oat
something?
milk, there's rice milk, and like people are so used to consuming milk. But to be honest with you, even if you have oat milk or almond milk or rice milk or whatever milk
Coconut.
soy milk is the worst, so don't have soy milk at all. Or even they're not actual milks. First of all, they're highly processed. Second of all, they're not even milk. And if you go and read the ingredients and the nutritional values, there's barely any nutritional values in there.
Yeah, like coconut has nothing, no nutrition in
No,
it.
even almond milk has nothing.
Yeah, even almond. So what were you
So-
saying is a substitute to them?
No,
Nothing?
that is a substitute for them. But that's only because you're so used to having milk.
You're just so used to it. You're saying it's not even any point of taking it.
No,
Yeah, there's
literally
really no
a
point.
substitute for people that are so used to them.
So addicted to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically to replace one thing with another problem. Interesting fact is, I don't even know how we're getting into all of this, but interesting thing is some weird thing is some guys
Especially a lot of bodybuilders.
go out of their way and buy real
Breast
human
milk.
breast milk, and they have it all the time, and they swear by it. Like,
But like the women that actually give their milk away, like they sell it as a business, I don't get that at all.
they make money.
Yeah, but like, come on.
Hey, listen, we can't judge nobody, so everybody's doing their own thing. It's just, yeah. So go on, love. Tell us the rest. What about the rest of the poisons? You were saying how the meat shouldn't be had. Why? You had a reason for that.
Yeah, because so the fish industry, whether it's farm fish or wild fish, farm fishes, they have a lot of antibiotics too. Mm-hmm. And also the wild fishes, there's so much pollution
Microplastics.
in our oceans and our
mercury.
seas right now that you know, all the little animal creatures, they take them, they consume them as, you know, as
bottom
their
feeders, yeah.
Exactly.
They eat them from the bottom of the ocean, and the bigger fish
And
eat
then
those,
they
and
keep on getting eaten. And
the food chain goes all the way up.
Yeah, and they've done studies that they found microplastics in actual fish. So imagine you're putting that into your body
all the time.
Like, would you actually take plastic and eat it? I wouldn't.
And funny thing is, Tony himself apparently got like mercury poisoning from eating too much fish.
Yeah.
Because at one point he went on a fish heavy diet, right?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. And he got very bad, and he actually came out of it.
He was actually in the middle of a
UPW.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they told him, you can't finish the show. And he's like, are you kidding me? So he sat.
That's funny. That's
so
Tony.
He sat in a wheelchair and he finished the show. He's such a getter. Go getter.
That's true. Okay, so tell us, what else?
Yeah, processed stuff is not good for you. Anything that is in a box, sits on a shelf for anywhere from a month, a week, a year. It's not good for you.
Why are those not good?
Because they're not good for you. They're highly processed.
What about process is not good?
Well, they've gone through a lot of processing.
I understand, but what is it about them that
they have so much like added chemicals and ingredients in them to keep them on the shelves?
Okay, like preservatives.
Yeah, preservatives.
Yeah, MSG preservatives and stuff. Yeah.
And like, think of it this way: like, if it's good for you, like, think of an apple or like a fruit, anything, fruits, vegetables. You put them on the side for like a week, 10 days, they go bad. So
does a McDonald's burger.
But like, think of these things. Like, there's like all these things you see on a shelf. They can sit there for anywhere from like 3 months to a year.
Yeah.
Like,
Payam, wasn't there a McDonald's burger in Europe that's been sitting like in a shelf, like in a museum somewhere for like 10 years or something? There's a photo of it. You could search it. Just search it and put up the photo. Let's see it. Yeah. Let's see the photo. Okay. So go on. Sugar.
Oh, sugar is
everybody
knows sugar is bad.
So evil.
I mean, if you don't know, then
you don't know, huh?
Then you don't know.
No, sugar is evil.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a... Here, let me get it. There it is, huh?
Oh, wow.
How long has it been sitting? 10-year-old. Woo!
That's insane. That's like literally pure shit.
The fries is literally sitting there perfectly. That golden fries is just perfectly sitting waiting for you.
Which is made with shortening.
Oh boy, that's another big thing, huh? Shortening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not get into this. Let's not make this into a health show, because maybe we should bring one of our health friends in and have a talk with them. So tell me, what about rebuilding yourself and rebuilding a new you? How? What methods? You were telling me about 6 different things.
Yeah. So basically, there's Tony was saying there's 6 needs, 6 primary needs that it's like human needs, 6 primary human needs. And people usually, it depends on your priorities of those needs. So if you tell me your top 2 priorities from those 6 needs, we can tell what kind of a person you are.
Yeah.
So the first 4 are the physical needs, which is certainty. The second one is uncertainty or variety. The third one was significance. And the fourth one is love and relationships. And the 5th and 6th one are actually spiritual needs, which is the act of contribution and the act of growth. So if someone comes and tells me that with majority of people, their 2 top priorities in their needs is usually certainty and significance. They always want to be certain about stuff, and they always want to be significant.
That's right.
So they always care about, like, you know, showing off to people, oh, this is what I have, that is what I have, just so they get a sense of significance.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they always want to tell other people that I know everything. I'm so sure, like I know it all. And that's because they always want to be certain, you know? So there's different, like, it depends on what your needs are, your two primary needs are.
Sure.
And then that kind of shows what kind of a person you are.
Okay.
So you would have to do that exercise and say what your two needs are. And then that's obviously the person you are right now. And then the person you want to become, if you want to become something else, what do you need to change from those 6 needs and prioritize for you to become that person?
That's right. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you missed anything that you want to add to this?
No, I think I'm good. Definitely take it though.
Yeah. So who do you think is going to be a good candidate to take this?
Anyone. Literally anyone.
Okay. You think everybody would?
It's life changing. Like if you want to change your relationships, if you want to change your personality, like, you know, if you're not happy where you're standing anywhere in your life, whether it's physically, in your relationships, in your business, in your personal lives, in your anything, it really helps.
Yeah. Well, I guess let me kind of interject in there, because one of the reasons that she says anyone that wants to make any change, it's because people always believe that if they want to implement a change in any part of their life, they have to go out there and do something to make a difference in that department. Whereas most people fail to understand that in order for you to change something in your external life, you must go internally and you have to change things inside yourself in order to be able to change things on the outside. And that's why this program, like many other programs out there, that their sole purpose is to show you that by running after money, for example, you're not going to actually be able to get abundance of finance and wealth. But you have to, even if that is what your priority is, you have to go inside and program and reprogram yourself internally, so you will have the right vision, the right clarity, the right strategy, and the right understanding of why you want to do what you want to do. And then when you do that, it is only then and then when you can actually start implementing your strategy to manifest what you believe now as a new definition of what you need in your mind into your physical reality of life. Yeah. And that is how every person who is somebody who most people look up to, they do that with their lives. Like if you look at some of the biggest artists, some of the biggest producers, everything, and I love this saying, you know, everything that we believe, everything that we use, everything that has made our comfort of today's humanity of life and the quality of the standard of quality of life, what it is, has started in somebody's mind. Every technology, everything, internet, electricity, medicine, powers, nuclear powers, the physics of it, it all started in somebody's head. The smartphones, smart cars, vehicles, airplanes, everything started in somebody's mind. They're like, that's what I need to do. I'm going to make this. And they started it.
And they were so consistent and certain about it.
Yeah.
They got there.
Yeah, and they got it. And now we are all reaping the fruits of their kind of hard work. But essentially what we are using, all the tools, all the utilities that make the 21st century's lifestyle possible, they are all the products of other people's imagination. So once you can change and modify your own imagination, you can start bringing whatever is in your mind to the real life. And that is the ultimate purpose of any self-improvement course, program, guru, coach, to just allow you to recognize that single fact and help you to, in their way, with what their knowledge is, to reprogram yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So let me quickly touch upon. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah,
Go.
you can literally become anything you want.
Anything.
You just have to know the right strategies.
That's it. Yeah. So if you see a human that goes to the moon, you could be that person. If you see a human that goes to the Everest and climbs that mountain and hangs from two fingers, you could be that person. Anything you see, you can do. You have the power. It's so true. Like this thing has turned into a cliche, but it is so true.
Anything is possible.
Your limitation is your imagination.
Yeah, it's your beliefs.
It's your beliefs.
You got to change your beliefs.
Yeah. If you don't believe you can do it, of course you're not going to do it. And if you believe you can do it, you will do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, before we get into it, I wanted to ask all of you to please, if you're here, subscribe below, hit the ring button or hit the like button because they help us to go out bigger. And we are going to just jump right into this next. So this kind of brings me to my course, which is Lifebook, which I'm so happy with because Lifebook is, it's one of those things that they don't spend so much time explaining to you that what it means to change your beliefs. They just basically put it down there on the table for you. They're like, listen, like you want to get an abundance of anything as a person who's content with all qualities of life, because and this is so true. Think about it. If you know anybody who's successful as per the definition of our society today, which is, mostly either fame, power, or money, most of these people are doing good in one, two, maximum 3 areas of life. Okay. And there are about 12 areas that are kind of recognized as 12 different facets that make up our lives. And most of these people cannot do more than 2, 3. So what's really interesting is that John Butcher has the founder of this program with his wife. They have come up with this strategy where they have broken down our lives to 12 different segments. And they literally tell you, if you want to have a fully content life, obviously, if you want to be the top of this game and that is your priority, for example, to be a top athlete, to be a top business person, to be a top performer, to be a top singer, you can always pursue that. And it's very, very doable. And this is actually one of the ways where they present to you how you can achieve it. But they say a balanced life where you're happy in all departments is possible. Most people believe that if I'm going to be focusing on work, I have to cut off either my health, my body, my relationship, my family, my spirituality, my parenting, something, my social life. And that is what happens actually. If you see somebody who's making millions, one of these departments is gonna lack, many of them are gonna lack. Whereas these people, where John Butcher is actually saying that and presenting the idea that is not true. And they are themselves the living examples of this. That you can be happy in every department. The only problem that we don't get there is because most people just get good at one of those things.
Because it's so easy to focus on one area of your life. It gets hard when you start focusing on more areas of your life.
But again, the reason it gets hard is because you kind of start juggling and you're like, okay, I can't do this. Forget it. I'm just going to focus on this. Whereas John says you shouldn't juggle. You should know just the same way that I want to make $1 million doing this job. I want to do this partner with my life. I want to be this kind of parent. I want to be this kind of body when I'm 60 years old. I want to be this kind of friend. I want to be this kind of spiritual person. By defining literally what you want to be.
Yeah, well, you got to work on those things.
You are, well, yes, but the great thing about this is, yeah, of course you have to work on it. But the great thing is, once you work on it once and you define for yourself how it is, then it's always a matter of referencing it. Anytime you want to make a decision, if a relationship comes across that you don't know if you should get into that relationship, you just go to your Lifebook, which is the name of the program. You go to the relationship and you're like, okay, what kind of relationship do I want? Does this person fit this? At that moment, you don't need to guess because you already have it.
Yeah.
And by the way, you could always update your Lifebook. You know what I mean? This no longer holds valid. Okay, let me change it. And it's an ongoing thing. He says that he's been doing it for 30 years. You just keep on modifying it. Sometimes one department becomes a priority, another time another one becomes a priority, and things change. But at least when you have things written down, that's a problem that I'm also personally guilty of. A lot of times you're like, oh, I know, I don't need to write things down. You must write things down.
Yeah, because you forget.
Because your mind gets too occupied with everything that there is no opportunity for it to actually archive everything, give you access to exact details as you need it, as you agree with yourself, as you come to kind of epiphanies. If you have a moment of epiphany, if you have a moment of a breakthrough, that must be cherished. You must write it down. You can't just say, oh, that felt so good. Okay, let me just go have a cup of coffee and call my friend and just talk about how we're going to go out next week. No, if you have a breakthrough, write that down. Like, don't just like glance through and just deal with it as if it was just another moment. But anyways, let me get into the Lifebook because I'm literally loving this program so much. I want to put the 12 different categories or 12 different facets of everybody's life that they're presenting, because a lot of these you don't even think about, right? You don't think about some of these that they even exist, but they do. And the funny thing is, there is a test. I'm not sure if this test is for everybody, because if it is, I'm going to put a link to it down in the description, description of our YouTube channel, that is, because
You
if
kind of go into value where you're sitting.
Yeah. Because if you're listening to this podcast on an audio version, remember on our video YouTube channel, It's Better Together, which is the number 2. You can actually come and we put like some notes here, references, links, anything we mention, they're always there. The interesting thing is, I'm going to tell you, like, one of the departments, like one of the facets, it's called the health and fitness, right? Like, so everybody knows about health and fitness. That's one thing that most people know about. Then there is intellectual life, right? So that is literally your brain, your memory, your intellect that you gather by studying, by being open and reading and absorbing. Then there is the emotional life. Then there is character, spiritual life, love relationship, parenting, social life, financial life, career, quality of life, and life vision. So basically, once you go through these 12 characters, these 12 facets, and the way they do it is they give you a tried and true method where literally, this is the funny thing for this program, which is what really kind of got me hooked. Once you get into it, you pay $500 and there's a 6-week program, and every week you go through 2 of these facets. And you there are an hour classes, an hour and a half class where you attend the class. Then they walk you through how to think, how to go in there and come out with your own definitions and your own visions and your own premises and your own strategies on within that department, who you want to be as a new version of yourself. Okay. So by the end of this program, by the end of the 6 weeks, when you finish this, you literally have this Lifebook that is telling you, based on your own introspective, who you want to be. And now, every time you're about to moving forward, You want a question, you want to go reference to, should I make this move or not? Go to that department and look at what your goal was. Look at what your vision was. Look at what you wanted to achieve. And if it's not there, you understand that what you're about to do is going to be a waste of time. Maybe if it's going to change your life, you can go and remodify things. But the interesting thing is, after the 6 weeks, once you finish this Lifebook, they will refund you your money, which is actually very cool, because the whole purpose of this program is to get you up and running. Now, I don't know if, as a disclaimer, you have to be a part of the Mindvalley, which I think has like a $400 annual thing with many different courses to be able to get into this. But if it's not, or if it is, I don't know. For me, I didn't care. I got the Mindvalley. I'm really enjoying that annual membership, and I'm really getting into this. Like I'm so loving this, because when you have an awakening, which is the subject of our first episode, my next question was, okay, so I had an awakening experience. Now I know what is the truth and what isn't the truth. But how do you bring spirituality into reality? How do you bring the recognition that everything you've been told is the belief of the society? And how do you pull yourself out of that bunch and start implementing your learnings, your experiences, and your newfound knowledge to make a better version of yourself? And what I found in my way is that, and what she's finding in her way, is that this is like, and I really love it because me and her talk all the time, right? So she tells me what she's learning, I tell her what I'm learning, and it's always like a crisscross, like, right? Which kind of helps us to build that new persona, make that new image of ourselves. And once you have that new belief, that new imagination, and you know who you want to be, there is no longer any doubt. There's no longer room for second thinking yourself. There's no longer any reason to even ponder or really not do what you want to do to be happy. And this is probably the thing that out of this show, out of this episode, I really wanted us to get across. That if you love yourself, if you believe you deserve better, if you believe what you're living through right now is not what you deserve, if you think that there is something beyond what you're experiencing right now, you are right. And the only way to get there is for you to make a commitment to yourself, to invest your time, number one, and be courageous, because you have to start challenging your own fundamental beliefs of who you thought you were, of what principles you thought you should live and abide by. And you have to be courageous enough to understand that in order to experience joy, in order to experience a different version and a different person that you want to be, you have to let go of the old to be able to build a new. Yeah. Right?
And courage is not the absence of fear.
No, actually, fear
courage is
still
knowing
exists,
that the fear is there, but you do it anyways.
You do it anyways. That was so good, baby. Thank you. And in the words of Don Miguel Ruiz, he says that because we've already said we love him, he says in the 4 agreements that everything we believe and everything we experience is based on a belief, right? And if you want to change what you experience, you have to change your beliefs. And the only way to change a belief is to create a new belief. Mm-hmm. So if you want to create a new belief, you have to let go of an old one. That's how the formula works.
Yep. You got to replace it.
You got to replace an old one with a new one. And as the last thing that I wanted to say is that, ow, that was a jaw crack. Did you hear that?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. The last thing I wanted to say, which I really think it's so imperative for us to understand, is that this is by the way science, psychology 101 right now. Everybody understands this. Every researcher, every psychologist understands this, and they're preaching this all over the place. In order for our brains to be able to function and guide us through our lives, the brain has to focus at one task at hand. And in order for it to do that, it must handle a lot of things in the background, which we call the subconsciousness, right? So we call it the subconscious and the conscious. So when you're saying I'm making a conscious decision, that means that you are literally right now thinking, do I want to do it or not? And when you're saying it's a subconscious thing, I can't control it. Yes, you can, but the reason it's subconscious is because your brain actually does about 95% on average of our daily decisions through the subconscious mind.
Yeah, 95% of your daily lives is habitually.
Yes. So what happens for something to move into the subconscious portion of your mind, it has to first turn into a habit. For something to turn into a habit, you have to do it every day for 21 days. Okay, when you do something for 21 days minimum, then your brain understands that and learns that this is how I'm supposed to do this. And now it moves from the portion of your brain where you have to think in order to do to the part where you don't think and you do.
Yeah.
A perfect example of that is, which a lot of people experience, is like when you're driving
To work.
anywhere.
They
when
take
you're
the
driving,
same exact path, same exact routes every day.
and when you're driving, a lot of it's happened probably to most people who have driven, that your mind was so busy, or you were so tired, you were in a different daydreaming world, and
you
you're
don't even
like,
know how you got from A to B.
yeah, you don't even know how you got home, and you're like, oh, how did I get home? Which is very dangerous, because now you're just going based on habits driving. But the most important thing is your subconscious mind, which is a 95%, got you there. So you didn't need to think, because you've done it so many times. So, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, you just go grab your phone, go to it, and then you just go to the kitchen, put your coffee, have your coffee, go to the fridge, have the food. Same bad food that you have every day. You have cheese, you have it on a friggin' spread, and then you put like some sort of Nutella on it. Those are all bad habits. They pile up. And the thing is, if you want to change anything in your life, the only way to do it is to go to your subconscious part of mind, start kind of digging in there to see what part is causing my life to be where it is, where I don't have the happiness, and replace that habit with a new one, work on it consciously. And the most successful people, by the way, the Atomic Habits, that's another amazing book on what I'm just about to tell you, is most successful people have very meticulous habits that they stick to, and those habits that they intentionally create go into the 95%, and now your brain can give you the opportunity to use it as a 5% to make conscious decisions about the tasks that life throws at you. By the way, all of the things I'm telling you, they're all still happening within our beta frequency of mind, which are not supposed to be where you make your real life decisions. But that's a whole different talk. It's a whole different episode, which I'm going to talk about hopefully very soon. Baby.
Yeah.
Have you missed anything?
I got to tell you guys about Astitude.
Oh, tell us about Astitude.
So it's the scientific study of shaking your ass and shaking your physiology and your state.
Oh, that's such a good thing. I
You
that.
have to do it. It's a challenge. I want you guys to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it 5 times a day for the next 5 days. And what you do is whatever time you want to do it, you get up, you put on some nice music, and you shake that ass for 2 minutes.
Oh, that's it, eh?
And it's called Astitude. And you can come and thank me or the guy who created it. Yeah. Joseph Max something. I forgot. I'm so bad with last names.
Stop saying that.
I know, but his last name was so hard.
Yeah.
Joseph something
You're
the
not
third.
bad with anything. You just don't have the retention of it right now. But that is actually very true, and I attest to it. Actually, I attest to the Attitude challenge, because once I was actually just not too long ago, I was just like, babe, I feel so down. She literally goes like, okay, I know you like Corazon by Maluma. So she puts it on and she's like, all right, let's just jump up and down. And guys, like, honestly, we just jumped up and down for a few minutes. And I was like, oh, wow, that I feel so good. Like, what do we do? Like, let's just go and get the stuff done. It's so true. Tony has that line, right? Like, to change your psychology, you got to change your physiology. No? Is that his line?
No, I don't know what it is, but physiology is very important.
Yeah, if you want to change your psychology, which is how you think and how you feel, you got to change your physiology. It's that easy. It's that simple. The problem is humans were never meant to be stationary people living in boxes.
No.
We weren't meant to. No. We weren't meant to do that and put all of this junk and garbage and poisons inside our body while doing it.
Yeah, that's why we get so many diseases.
Diseases, which is very true.
Yeah.
That's why we get so many diseases, which is literally what the word is, because we put ourselves in a box. We disconnect from Mother Nature. We don't go out. We don't get any workouts. We don't connect with the energy of, Mother Gaia. And we literally put junk in our body. It's so funny. Some of the things, can I tell you this? This is so interesting. Some of the things that we eat, you know how like we have a dog, right? Benji. And dogs always are like food beggars, right? Like mostly. There are some foods that we have that you give to the dog and they don't touch it. They literally smell it. They're like, I'm not having that. And I'm like, what? Like, and this is like not even like basically what I'm trying to tell you is a dog that would eat anything would not eat some of the things that we eat. And yet we just want to put everything in. We just want to gobble it all in. And just let's respect our bodies a little bit more. No?
Yeah. You gotta appreciate
your body is your temple.
Body is a perfect machine. It hasn't done anything wrong to you. It works every day. Your heart's pumping every day. Your brain's working every day. Your stomach's working every day. Your intestines are working every day. Your veins, everything in your body is working every single day without you telling it to do any of that.
Without it expecting anything.
When was the last time that you had to tell your brain to work? Or when was the last time you told your heart, okay, heart, you can take a second off now?
When was the last time you told your kidneys to, filter your blood?
It's a perfect machine working perfectly
and that's
fine.
why we get kidney stones. That's why we get so many things.
The last thing a lot of people care about is their bodies. Like, you wouldn't do that to a friend. If you have a good friend, would you ever go and punch them in the face?
No.
Yeah, but you do that to your body.
Unless it was their birthday.
No.
Then they would get birthday punches. I'm kidding.
Well, the point is people need to care about themselves a lot more than they actually do.
Of course. And what's funny is Wim Hof, which we, by the way, really love, was having a talk. And he was saying that because a lot of scientists are trying to dissect his methods and figure out how, with his simple breathing techniques and daily cold showers, he's able to not only himself but teach everybody else how to get injected with live E. coli and not get sick, to go inside freezing cold water and not get hypothermia. And he was saying that in one of his talks recently, he was saying that 90 to 95% of all human diseases are because of inflammation. And inflammation happens because of food. Stress, sugar, and food, meat, preservatives, all those things, dairy, all those things cause inflammation. And the 5%, the remainder is all genetic mutations, which are still arguably environmental, but that's another conversation. I don't want to get into that right now. Long story short, like she said, Our body's been nothing but amazing to us. Let's just show it a little bit more respect and love and cherish our bodies, and just do with it as you would do with a good friend, with somebody you love, right? Like, just love your body. That's very important. And if you love yourself, if you want to commit to a better life, if you want to, by the way, if you want to ask us on our experiences, on how the UPW was, or how my Lifebook experience is, or the Mindvalley, please leave a comment below, and we'll be sure to actually kind of share our thoughts on the subject. And tell us what you think, where you are in life. Do please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, hit a ring button, because we are about to put out more videos, more exciting stuff. And we honestly really, really want to appreciate your time for spending it with us. If you watched the video or if you've listened to us, no matter where you are, we send you a lot of positive energy and love, and we hope that you appreciate yourself. Don't ever doubt that you are beautiful, you're precious, you're at the right time, at the right place, at the right moment, and
you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you all. Thank you. Payam, thank you so much for helping us. We appreciate Payam for being our technical director here. And with that said,
until next time,
yes,
live with
love
passion, live with love, live with peace and joy.
Yes. Good job, baby.